Hello, Dr. Bedi. It's such a pleasure to have you with us. So, Dr. Bedi is here visiting Jakarta for the first time.
Yes.
And it's a pleasure that we've all been able to meet you. And there were two very nice events where you could meet a cross section of the Indians here in Indonesia.
That's true.
And we had this very powerful screening of your movie today. And, I saw that and I see the power of one when I see you and the amount of difference you've made to the world around you. Every woman, I think not every woman, every person has that power. But for women, what would you say some simple steps for each woman to live a more purposeful life?
The woman is a person before she's a woman. A man is a person before he's a man. What difference has nature made? It's given us the same two hands, same two legs, same two pair of eyes, lovely two ears, brilliant. The only difference is that a woman looks different, she reproduces, and she's a mother, she's got greater love and emotion in her heart. Man has more muscle power compared to woman. If woman has more loving power, man has more muscle power. Not that he doesn't have loving power, but nature has gifted both the genders internally something different to complement each other. Otherwise, as persons, we are the same.
Right.
So it is the realization of the person. A man can be weak and useless if he wastes his life. A woman can be highly productive and highly contributory if she values her life. I think I would say we got to look at ourselves as persons.
Yes.
Where we rise above our gender and don't look at ourselves. I got more muscle and I can beat up people, and I have less of muscle and I'm weak and I'm dependent on others. No way. Dependence is all in the mind.
Right.
But now comes opportunities. Because boys get to have more opportunities. They're more mobile. They have money. They have family inheritance, which girls don't. So it's a denial of opportunities.
Right.
If the women are also mobile, they also have the money power, they also have the skill power, then how are they less than anybody else? That's the only difference between man and a woman, is matter of opportunities. Second, use of opportunities. Sometimes we all get equal opportunities, but we don't optimally use them. I think that's the key. All I did in my life is I got the opportunities and I multiplied them and multiplied them and multiplied them.
Right. Yes.
And used them optimally.
Yeah.
Use them optimally. Each adversity even became an opportunity to make things better.
Yeah, I remember when you mentioned yesterday that I didn't have any bad posting. I had fun and it was an opportunity. I think that's a great learning. I see that you have a very, very busy schedule. How do you manage your time?
Nothing. One day at a time. Just schedule it one day at a time. That's it.
That goes against all the big management gurus who talk about
Nothing.
time
It's
management.
a schedule of the day that I would I have this commitment and this. But these are all choices I make. So that's the management of the day. But day comes to an end as well.
Correct.
So I go to sleep and have a very, very nourishing sleep. And you get up in the day for a purposeful day. The choice is I can waste my day. I can invest my day. I choose to invest my day.
Even in the movie and otherwise, there was this deep faith in the Almighty or either spiritual side. When did you discover it, or has it always been a part of you?
This is the law of nature. Goodness only gets goodness. Evil will get evil, even if it's delayed. Goodness does get goodness, even if it's delayed. It's law of nature. If you believe in the law of nature, you reap as you sow.
Correct.
So I reap as I sow my time. If I've sown my time well, I will reap the fruits. Some would be delayed fruits and some will be early fruit. Some will be high hanging, some will be low hanging.
Right.
But fruits, if I've sown a fruit bearing seed, it will bear fruit. The only thing is I have to nourish it. I have to protect it in the beginning so that any goat or sheep doesn't eat it away. I may have to nourish it. That's what nourishment is, protected. But after that, it grows by itself and it protects others. It protects others.
I understand. I think that's very powerful. That what you sow, you reap. and one should always look at all your actions and your choices accordingly.
You are what you think.
Yeah.
You are what you do. Your knowledge is what you've read. Your habits are what you inculcated them over a period. You can't be different from what you've done differently.
Correct.
I think that's it.
I was just reading online recently where you were talking to a group of students and you talked about the 4 Fs.
Yes.
Could you share that with us?
Yeah, the first F, 4F is fear. We don't succeed because we're afraid even before trying. We don't face the fear. The first is fear. The second is fear of failure. We don't want to try that I may fail. So the first is fear per se. Sometimes unfounded fears. Kal ka kya hoga? Naukri chali jayegi? Narazgi hogi? See, fear. Face it, dissect it, and then deal with it. Second is failure. Without trying, I may fail. What will others say? If I go to run, I may come last. But don't you know you're better than somebody who never ran? So fear of failure. Third is you forget. You want to do, but you forget. You hear something nice, you read something nice, you get inspired, but you forget. Right? Fourth is you have no faith in yourself. It's a matter of faith, that faith in your own self. So once you have these 4 Fs addressed, which is fear, which is failure, which is, as I said, faith or forgetfulness, you start addressing your needs. You are addressing yourself as a person.
No, that's very true. I think those are very valid points.
And I also said do SWOT analysis regularly.
Yes.
Look at your strengths, look at your weaknesses, look at your opportunities, and look at your threats. If you do regularly a SWOT analysis, it changes by what are your strengths? Are they getting weaker or are they getting stronger? What are your weaknesses? Are they getting weaker or are you getting out of your weakness? These are changing habits. What are your threats around? Threats could be physical, it could be environmental. And finally, what is your opportunities? What are your opportunities and how are you using them? Or how are you creating them?
I think the SWOT analysis with the self-audit, like you mentioned this morning, is very important. Do you watch movies?
Very, very nice, very carefully. Mary Com is my favorite. I see some very good movies, but I have no patience for rubbish.
Do you watch movies? What is your opinion of cops as portrayed in movies? Like The Bung.
It's entertainment.
But it's never like that.
Yeah, it's entertainment.
Okay. What do you do for fun?
I don't do anything but which is a drag. So anything which I do is enjoyable. Even traveling is, let's say it's not enjoyable in the sense, but I would say I like it. So I like it in the sense because it's a value. It's a great investment. It's worth it. It's contributory. And it also challenges me.
Yeah.
Because when I'm traveling, if I'm speaking engagement, I have to go back and refresh my reading. It enhances, it raises my bar. So I won't say this is something which it's great to do it all the time, but I do it in a budget manner. I don't do it all the time. I don't do it never. It is very, very carefully budgeted. It's a budgeted time management.
Right. There was another instance in the movie where you are looking at all the accounts where they've been signed off by the commissioner for all the things that you have done.
Yeah.
Now, so over time, have you become very careful about every, everything that you do? So you keep a documentation. Is that become a habit?
Over a period, my instinct has become sharp. I can anticipate what could be abused or used. So it's instinctively alert.
So would you suggest it's good to keep all your documentation?
It's good to keep your documents in place. I'm a strong I value documents because they're good for recall also.
Correct.
And they're also evidence if you need them. Or to confirm this is what happened. It's like a photograph.
Yes.
Would you not like to keep a photograph? You could go back to see how your family, your friends, your activity. It's a photograph.
Correct.
of a memory, but you never know when you need it.
I also really liked your thought about being complete in yourself. I think that was incredibly powerful. Could you just share very briefly on that?
It's not being lonely, but you could be alone. How this is a habit one has to inculcate. Dependency, interdependence is fine, but dependency is bad. You know, interdependent is fine. I depend on you for something, you depend on me for something, as long as we're together. But supposing nature takes one of us away, what happens?
You're left alone.
You're left. So don't be lonely. You could be alone, but therefore inculcate a lifestyle which also makes you self-reliant while being interdependent.
I see. So it's all about growing yourself as a person
Constantly.
and being aware of who you are.
Yes. That's why meditation practices, being linked with spiritual groups, being into satsangs, being into music, being into sports, being into having reading habits, larger community giving in service never leaves you lonely. It may still keep you alone when you are finished with it, but it will never be lonely.
I think that's a very, very wonderful sharing that you've given us some insightful lessons. Thank you so much for your time. It has been really wonderful talking to you.
Wonderful talking to you. You've been here for so long, and I believe you run such a great portal.
Thank you.
And you this is like a go-to place for every Indian in Indonesia.
Yes.
We're totally proud of you. And I believe you used the technology 11 years ago, 12 years ago?
14 years ago.
Full marks to you. And I do hope to stay connected through your portal.
Thank you so much,
Thanks.
Dr. Bedi.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.